Anthony on Air Podcast. Welcome back to another episode brought to you by our awesome friends over at the Hero Soap Company. Link in the description below. More on them in a second. We've got a whole slew of stuff to get to. As you can see, it's on our topicometer here if you're watching on Facebook and or YouTube. We're going to talk about the weekend Super Bowl halftime performance. We're going to talk about Ghislaine Maxwell. There's some news there. She had a big loss in court today. Tesla and Bitcoin making some news. The Gorilla Glue Girl, which is pretty hilarious. Super Bowl commercials, we'll go over those. Mike Lindell put out his proof video of election fraud. We will dive into that. We have some product testing to do for these Lay's Limon potato chips. Excited to get into that. And then the product testing segment that put this on the map was the sink thing that Frank bought, and it was a buy one get one free. He generously donated one for a giveaway. We'll announce our grand prize winner on this episode. Stay tuned for that. If you want to, of course, fast forward through any bit of this, you can follow along.
Watch the whole thing.
The topicometer. You're right, Frank. Watch the whole thing.
Don't fast forward.
Frankie C is here. J Sabs is on the way. She'll be joining us shortly.
She's caught in traffic.
Yeah, so stick around for that.
She'll be here momentarily.
The weekend. Frankie C, thought that he did a really nice job. I enjoyed the performance. Yeah. I don't know where that extra $7 million went, though, that he put in on his own money.
That's true.
Where
I
was
feel like
that?
you give me enough time, I could have made that set with that was like a high school play set. But the lights were cool. Then they did fireworks and stuff. But outside of that, I mean, they were on the field, an empty field.
Now, I thought he wasn't going to be allowed on the field because of the protocols. I thought they said that they were keeping him in the stands. That's what I had read somewhere before, that was because of COVID. They didn't want anybody down on the field that didn't absolutely need to be there, which is why he was going to be up in the stands to begin with, and then
I feel like where you wouldn't want him is up in the stands with all the people.
Yeah, but it's weird, though, the way that stadium is over there. They have a huge pirate ship, and next to it is just this big empty spot. That's where they put, because the pirate ship only takes up one side of that stadium. So on the other side, it was empty, and that's where they built his whole thing. I thought they started the thing really cool. It was like one of those depth perception tricks where he was in the car, and it looked like one thing, and then as they turned the camera, it kind of comes out as another thing, which I thought was cool.
Maybe that was part of it. That had to be $1 million. Well, how much did the car cost? I bet at least $5 million went into that car.
I wonder. Yeah, I don't know. And he had some cool visualizations too. By the way, here's one thing I've noticed. The way to success these days, we used to be like, make it a viral moment, like put it on social media. But now even clips, like 30-second clips, don't even work on social media. Now you have to meme yourself. And he created that meme moment when he was running through with the mirrors all around, and people were frantically tweeting and Facebooking that last night of like, this is me doing this, and this is how I look when I was running out of the house. So he created that moment. I think it was a huge success. Huge.
He got a meme moment, definitely. A meme? Who decides that? Whether it's we all collectively just instantly decide that's a meme, right? Other than that, there's no meme maestro out there.
No, and that's what's awesome about it is it is this organic, response. That's what's so great about the memes. This is what I'm talking about for those of you that are watching. When he was in that sort of lit up mirrory, area. Now, my wife Cuddles, she did not like it. She thought that
the whole thing.
She likes Weekend. She likes the Weekend, but she was like, I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't get why he was up on that stage, on the set, And I'm kind of with her on that too, because he was like explaining the whole performance, and he did this whole lead in with the plastic surgery thing, and none of that really paid off.
That.
Yeah, it was like I was waiting for this huge payoff, and it never really came.
Yeah, that's true. They had some fireworks at the end and stuff like that, but I feel like Lady Gaga's must have cost more.
I thought hers was visually, and now again, I'm on the record. I said Prince I thought was the best. I liked Bruce Springsteen's as well. Like he's right up there. But I loved Lady Gaga. That whole with the drones thing. I was
and her
super
flying
cool.
in or jumping in or whatever the hell she did.
Super, super cool. And my wife said this too, and I agree with her. Shakira and J-Lo was overall kind of more exciting and entertaining. Whereas he kind of just performed his songs and there was some visually fun stuff, but it wasn't like there was no wow moment in the whole performance.
Well, to be fair, his music is a little more laid back when it comes to it's not high energy craziness like J-Lo and Shakira. You know, they got a lot of dance and crazy songs. His songs leans a little R&B-ish.
Yes, yeah. But
I feel like it,
I like, on that point, I feel like dancing-wise, two people have come close to Michael Jackson for me. Usher and this Weeknd. The Weeknd guy, I feel like Usher and him, they have that thing where it's like R&B-ish, it's good music, the dancing is just outstanding. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the closest to MJ I feel we've gotten since MJ.
Yeah, but I didn't see that much from The Weeknd though. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. He's got all this incredible talent. He's got this. He was doing it a little bit. There were like these little
every
dance
now and then
moves.
He'd throw it in there.
But but there wasn't this whole huge kind. I don't know. It was it was a little.
It was very. He relied on the set a little too much.
A little bit too much. A little bit.
And
too
he had
much.
a lot of people behind him. He had the musicians.
And
then the dancers. So I think he didn't phone it in. He was great. I thought great. He sang perfectly. Yeah. I thought he was on key. Everything sounded great. I think his mic maybe could have been a little louder. It was kind of tough to hear him a little bit.
I felt like it was too much stadium.
Yeah.
How it sounded in the stadium and not enough mic for the TV. That people won't. That's kind of nerdy radio talk, but
yeah, but I think people will get that. I mean, his voice just didn't carry over the music.
Agree.
Wasn't wasn't powerful.
I didn't love it. You're right. I really didn't love it like that. But I did. I liked all the dancers and stuff. I know they looked weird and everything, but it's like they had to have the masks on, so that was the best way they could make it all work. But again, and to my wife's point, that city skyline, there was no like. If you weren't following his lead up, you know what I'm saying? You didn't get it. There was this disconnect in why is that the set? Why did he start off in the car? Like none of it really all kind of molded and meshed together, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't know why all right. Anybody visually looking at us here? I've got some kind of
this is more exciting to look at than The Weeknd's performance.
And this doesn't cost much. This is just bad internet. If he had this going, then you got some colorful stuff happening.
But overall, like I don't want to be. I feel like it's so easy to just knock the guy. Like it was a good performance. Like just to give you the gauge.
As far as halftime shows go, I thought it was up there. I think it held its own.
Like Maroon 5 was dog shit. Like to me, that was like the lowest of the low. Like it was.
Agreed.
It was just boring and awful supermarket rock and roll music. That I couldn't stand that. At least this was kind of like. He's jazzy, got a little. And I will say this too, kept the spotlight for himself. No surprise guest. I always look forward to a surprise guest.
That's true.
He had
20 minutes or so. He jammed all his music in there, which was fine, and his music is good. But yeah, no surprise guests. Which
kept it all for himself.
Right.
Yeah,
it's okay. You don't have to have a surprise. It doesn't have to be like that.
I think he was thinking, "Screw you guys! I'm putting $7 million of my own in. I'm not going to have anybody take any of this time. I'm going to use it all my damn self."
And that's fine. I mean, it's the weekend. It's his weekend, and that's it.
It's his weekend. It ain't Bernie's. It's the Weeknd's weekend, and that's
right.
That's genuine.
But I'm sure there's a theme to his whatever's going on with the masks like that. He did that. It's his tour or his album or something.
Yeah, well, it was part of this whole, like, there was all these rumors about he was getting plastic surgery, and he kept posting, there was these pictures that were coming out, and
his face was swollen and all that.
But you know what drove me crazy? He did like a press conference, and then he didn't like keep that up for the press conference. Like he dropped all that gimmick. He had people going for a while there, Like even my wife was like, "You see the Weeknd's face?" And I go, "No." And she showed me like a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, "What does this guy do?" I thought he was going off the rails.
Yeah, I didn't know what the hell. I thought it was a botched face surgery, something or other.
Yeah, like
I didn't know what that was.
Keep that up. You can't show up then at the Super Bowl press conference looking normal and then expect us to all buy back. Like, see it all the way through. I like the story, but see it all the way through. And then also, like, we should know what the hell it was you were doing and talking about. And
if anybody knows in the comments, let us know.
Yeah, let me know.
We're missing something.
More Ghislaine news, Frankie C. Let's get to that after we talk about our proud sponsor, and that's the nice folks over at Hero Soap. I always like to take a good old shower after I read some Ghislaine stories because it's frankly disgusting, and this makes me feel as clean as ever, which I love. You buy a bar of this soap, we send a bar over to the troops, and by we, I mean the nice people over at Hero Soap Company. I have nothing to do with it, but I try and jump in and take credit where I can, where I don't deserve it. Also, they take a little out of their own kick, and they send it over to this organization that builds homes for veterans coming back from serving and protecting our freedoms and the Weeknd's freedoms. And
it's important.
That's a nice thing to do. Not too late to jump in on that Valentine's Day order, although you're kind of getting up against it. Sign up for a subscription for your significant other, and they'll get a year's worth of soap. You decide 1 bar, 2 bars a month, whatever you want to do. You save 20% using the promo code Anthony when you check out. 20% off, promo code Anthony. Use the link in the description of this episode. Thanks to Hero Soap Company for being a proud sponsor of the podcast.
Well done.
We had that. They do a great job. We had that big document dump a little while ago. We'll put a link if you're on YouTube of that episode where we kind of got more insight onto Ghislaine from that 2016 deposition. And we said then there was this little part that was about her own personal escapades and that they were keeping that private, that the judge had ruled, or the judge, not that she ruled, but she was like, I'm going to release everything and we're going to save this for another day. We thought she was like, I'm not going to release this, but it turns out she was saving it for another day. That day has come, and U.S. District Judge Loretta Preska said that the 20-line excerpt can be released. She wrote in a ruling, there is no reason not to unseal this portion of testimony. While the court acknowledges Ms. Maxwell's interest in a fair criminal trial, Ms. Maxwell can argue all her points to the presiding judge in her criminal trial, as she has already. Lawyers for Maxwell did not respond for comment. Preska previously released large portions of the July 22nd, 2016 deposition, which is what I was talking about. And the 20 lines of testimony were kept out, but now she's saying that they can be released. So they'll go to the judge in the case, and it'll be up to her whether it gets put out or whether it can be brought up during the trial. So there's still a chance that we might see these 20 lines.
So these 20 lines come from her, from Maxwell herself?
Yes. And it was personal to her and her own doings, behavior. If I can keep it
in what
clear.
time period? Over the whole course of everything?
Yeah, it was basically like, it was something, as for what we understand, something extremely personal about herself and her own, what she likes. Things. And it was like, that's too personal. If we let that out, she won't get a fair, her argument was, I'm not going to get a fair trial if that part gets out. So the judge put it to a side and said, okay, well, that part has nothing to do with the rest of this. I'm putting this all out. And so that's what we got a couple of weeks ago. And then it was, you know what? There is no reason to hold this. I'm going to leave it up for the judge that's going to be overseeing the case, who is Judge Allison Nathan. So
I wonder when that's going to start. Let's get this case going. Let's get the trial
July. Moving. It's kind of crazy. July. The last time we were like, when's this trial happening? It was like months ago. We're like, when are we going to get to July 2021? But here we are, and we're almost to the halfway point of February, so it's kind of coming up quick. So
we'll be there before we know it. And oh boy, hold on.
Yeah, there'll be plenty more news, I'm sure, once that all starts, which we'll have for you right here on the podcast. As we'll keep tabs on Miss Maxwell and her whole entire proceedings.
Awfulness.
Speaking of proceedings, Bitcoin got a huge boost today because Tesla CEO, honestly, Elon Musk, he's becoming my man. I'm liking him more and more lately. But he went ahead and told everybody that they bought $1.5 billion in Bitcoin.
That seems like a lot.
It's a nice chunk of change.
What do you do with that? I mean, in stock or in actual Bitcoin?
In actual Bitcoin. They announced in an SEC filing today that they bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. The company also said that it would start accepting Bitcoin as a payment method for its products. So now if you're keeping track at home, that is two things that your old pal Ant can't afford. One Tesla car and one Bitcoin. I cannot afford either one of those.
Well, how much is a Bitcoin?
I'm glad you asked, because I did buy a percentage of a Bitcoin, which you can do. But one single solitary Bitcoin at the time of our podcast, I will let you know right now.
I mean, how can you just come up with your own, like, just your own currency? Who came up with Bitcoin?
A Bitcoin is worth $46,511, give or take.
Ooh.
That is for one Bitcoin. By the way, when your old pal Ant was ahead of the curve and had a chance to purchase Bitcoins the first time around,
like 10 years ago or whenever that was?
3 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever.
4 years ago.
A Bitcoin was $9,000. I chose to buy.
Did you get in on that?
I got in on it a little bit. I chose to buy another cryptocurrency called XRP, which has given me nothing but heartache and a lighter bank account.
What is that?
Because at the time, I looked at it and it went from 9,000, and I was like, that is expensive. I'm like, let me see what else. And I did my research, and I was like, this XRP, this Ripple, as they call it, looks pretty good too. There was a lot of buzz on it at the time that it was going to overtake Bitcoin. So I was like, let me buy that. At the time, that was only $3 a coin. That is now 40 cents a coin. So I lost quite a bit. But I was like, you know what? Let me hold on to it and see if it ever comes back up. It is starting to creep back up. But Bitcoin went to 17,000 and then came crashing down. And then the stories came out that this was all from some consortium, I think in like China or some part of the world. They started buying up Bitcoin. They drove the price up. This mass hysteria started, and then they all sold off, and it all went crashing down. And nobody trusted Bitcoin ever again. It stayed around, but there was never this, like, you've got to get in on cryptocurrency until the last couple of weeks when everything happened with the meme stocks, GameStop and AMC, all that stuff. And suddenly people started buying it again. Now, Elon starts tweeting about this Dogecoin, which is like a dog thing, but they call it Doge. It's kind of spelled like DOGE, I think it's spelled. So when I signed up to Robinhood, you could buy that on Robinhood. So I went and I bought a bunch. It's like around 3 cents a coin, you know. And I did really well with it. I bought a bunch. It went up, it went down, it went kind of back up again. And I sold at almost a nickel, I think it was. So I saw a nice little jump. He kept tweeting about it subsequently after, and now it's at 8 cents. So if I would have held on to it till today, I would have been more than double my money. But I'm beggars, you know.
You're a 40% profit. That's not bad.
I did all right. Nick, our mutual friend Nick, Janine's brother, actually. Text this morning, Bitcoin is on the rise. So I go take a look at it, and it's at $41,000 a Bitcoin.
So now I don't understand the purpose.
Okay, I'll explain.
What is the purpose of Bitcoin?
I'll explain. So
I know it's a cryptocurrency. I know it's online currency, but why wouldn't we just use the dollar?
Okay, I'll get to that. Okay. So I bought it this morning at 41,000, and now it's at 46,000. But it's been jumping around like all day long. And I went on the word of Nick, which I should never do. I mean, if you've learned anything, don't listen to Janine or her stupid brother throughout. It's life lessons.
That is a rough lesson to learn.
Yeah, but I bought it anyway because I had this extra money that I sold the Dogecoin for, and it was just kind of sitting there. So I'm like, let me buy this Bitcoin and see, hop on this train again and see what happens. And it's done well today. I'm up 12% on the day, so not a bad start. But it turns out it's all because of Elon Musk. And so this is the point, and I wanted everybody to know, we have entered, we talked about this a little bit with GameStop, we have entered this realm now where there are influencers, for lack of a better term. There are people of great influence like Elon, who has millions of followers, who can start the ball rolling on these things.
Like that's always the case. As long as stocks have been around, there's people and events and whatever that influence the stocks. That's just what it is.
And people will say, oh, that's illegal. That's it. But like you said, there has been hedge funds. There's been financial people that'll come out and say, I like this stock. If Warren Buffett comes out and goes, I like this company, what do you think happens?
Exactly.
Or if he buys, if one of them buy and they have to announce that they've bought this, whatever, people tend to take notice in that thing. So that's that. For those who don't know, very quickly, we'll go over cryptocurrency to answer Frank's question. How cryptocurrency works is it is a public blockchain authenticated form of currency, meaning these nerd balls one day decided that the dollar, the yen, the pound is all bullshit. It's all predicated on bullshit. We used to be on the gold standard. Remember, we had as much money as we had gold, and then we left that, and it was like, well, we just have money now, and money is worth kind of what we say it's worth. And there's inflation, and there's fake inflation, and there's different things that you could use to manipulate money. And so during the sort of coming out of the Occupy Wall Street time was, this is unfair. Countries have an advantage over the people because they get to use money how they see fit. We have the Federal Reserve, which decides what this is. That is that's privately dealt with. It's not something that you think that like America runs their money. It doesn't. It's the Federal Reserve, and they have influence
which is a federal thing. It's part of the government.
Not really, though, because there's people that get to make those. We appoint somebody, the Fed Reserve chairman, and then they get to make decisions. Nobody votes for that person, and that's money that's being lent out and money that's being made by private banks. That has nothing to do with the government. It's kind of an unfair thing that's happening. So these nerds decided, this is BS, screw the governments. We're going to come up with our own coin that we're going to generate on the computer, and we will use the blockchain to monitor it. Now, quickly, the blockchain is I believe in blockchain technology more than I believe in cryptocurrency. What blockchain technology is, basically, if I could say it quickly, you hold up something in public and you say, this is what this is. I say, this is a replica of the Stanley Cup, right? I hold this up in public. Frank looks at it and goes, I confirm that's a replica of the Stanley Cup. 17 other people look at it and they also give the thumbs up that this is the replica of the Stanley Cup. We all agree on it. I can't alter this because I've put it out and everybody has checked in and agreed that that's what this is.
Okay.
So it creates this fair form of verifying what it is we're talking about. So that is what the blockchain is. The blockchain is you put a bit of information out there, and because it's checked on by a lot of people, you're able to verify and confirm it. And that's what cryptocurrency uses.
So then, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing as government money, because we didn't assign who's creating the
but the difference is
of the Bitcoin.
But the difference is it's completely organically run by people.
By whom?
It's run by us. So the value of the dollar can be manipulated, right? but the value of cryptocurrency cannot be, because it's verified by the blockchain and because it's being sold on exchanges for what it is worth, for what you can get for it.
But who's involved in that blockchain?
It's blockchain. It's public. So there are.
So whoever buys into it. What
they call miners and people who are there to check on it. Now, if you check on it, if you verify, you get a certain amount. You get a percentage. You get paid in Bitcoin. It's like one millionth or whatever it is. If you go through and you're constantly checking. But the thing is,
that still sounds to me like someone's.
It's not though,
manipulating it.
It's not though, because it's almost like our voting systems, right? There is no centralized I can't steal it. I can't manipulate it. I can't change it, because if I try and attempt to do something, the 14,000 other checks that are taking place will be alerted. They'll know it. So you can't. There's no manipulation.
But you said Elon Musk kind of manipulated it by saying what he said, and it shot the value of it way up.
Right, but that's not exactly. I did say that, but that's not a manipulation. He's endorsed, like.
He's not in control of it, but he endorses it.
Right. Whereas like the government could just go out and print a bunch of extra money and nobody can stop it. The Federal Reserve can go and change interest rates as they see fit and change the value of the dollar. So this little tiny morsel of people have a huge impact on all of us and how much our money is worth. That does not happen with cryptocurrency.
Right. Now with cryptocurrency, I mean, to the average person, what is the value of it? I mean, because I can't pay my bills with cryptocurrency. I can't buy food with cryptocurrency.
You can.
You can.
Well, see, the thing is this is a relatively new thing, right? So same way when the American Revolution happened, right? Mm-hmm. Every colony and then every state had their own money until Hamilton came around and was like, we need to have a central bank and one money and blah, blah, blah. Because everybody was against federal power. It was all power for the states. But somebody had to come in and be like, well, no, because we need to have the same amount of money. The same money all mean the same thing and blah, blah, blah. Right. So that's what it was. So it took some time for that to all get converted over and them to all figure out how much an apple was. Is it $3 in Georgia and $7 in New York? And then what does that become when we have an American dollar? So all that stuff still needs to be figured out. But there are definite entities that will take and accept cryptocurrency. It's not as easy as putting $1 in a vending machine, but there are places that will take cryptocurrency, and Tesla coming out today and putting 1.5 billion in is a big story. But even the bigger story is that if you want to buy a Tesla, it'll cost you 2 Bitcoin or whatever whatever the price of a Tesla is, 100,000, 80,000, whatever it is.
So I could still pay cash though.
If you got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
But then there's this. So the other thing too is there's this thing with cryptocurrency of,
like it's also a universally accepted currency. It's like
correct.
The same Bitcoin is worth the same here as it is in China.
Correct.
But when we say worth the same, like it might be worth like one Bitcoin might be worth $40,000,
right?
But however many yen,
1,000,000 yen or whatever it is, right? But that's that value. That's different. That's not the Bitcoin. There's still one Bitcoin, but it'll equal different amounts of other money. See, the danger here is the government has no control over this. So if we, the people in the entire world, move towards cryptocurrency,
I think there should be a universal. We should all get on the same page. Why are we not using one form of currency?
Well, when you think about it, people trade money all the time. How much the yen is worth against the U.S. dollar is worth. There's all these games that are happening amongst countries. You eliminate all of that with that would be wonderful.
I don't know why. I mean, I know why we don't do it because countries
don't want to give up that power. They don't want to give up that ability.
If I feel like we go to the United Nations, But countries band together. There should be listen, we need a world currency where if I have $50 and I go to China, I'll be able to buy the same thing as I would here. It's worth the same exact amount.
So what's interesting that you brought it up this way, because what XRP, Ripple, the coin that I bought, was really good at, the coin itself was a offshoot of the actual product itself, which was when you go and buy, when countries buy other countries' money and that money gets matched up and whatever, the amount of time it takes for that transaction, let's even say it's an hour. You know how much the price of money changes in an hour? A lot.
Yeah.
So a lot is lost in those transactions where because of blockchain technology, you cut that down to seconds. And so that's why that coin was supposed to blow up, is because you would be buying the coin, then the coin they would use to buy the other thing, and it would happen so fast. And that's what was so appealing about this. Now, the SEC did some investigating, and it turns out things aren't so up in the up with that particular company. So they have some things to get through. Allegedly, they're still ongoing with that. But the idea of it all is interesting.
Someone is controlling something about it. It might not be the exact worth, but someone's controlling the algorithms that decide all this stuff, or the way it's traded, or the amount.
No, blockchain. The blockchain is controlling.
Yeah, no. But who decides? I feel like behind it all, there's something written that, there might be the blockchain that decides stuff, but who created the system that creates the blockchain?
Right.
There's still,
because
we're never going to get something that's universally accepted that way. I don't think.
And there's thousands of cryptocurrencies now. Back in the day, there was like 4. Now there's
if
thousands.
we had one,
right? But all that stuff is going to work itself out. Like that'll all work itself out, and they all have little different things on how they work. But
because if the goal of Bitcoin was to become this universally accepted currency, then the other, what is it, XRP and all these other things are fighting it. Fighting against that goal. Right.
They're all competing. Yeah.
They're competing, but they're basically biting off, biting off their nose to spite their face or something, whatever the hell that is.
Right.
They're fighting against their own cause.
But I think it's more of a, the tide raises all boats thing. It's not that they know that there's infighting between coins, but they're fighting against the world, the world's currency, current currency. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So I don't think cryptocurrency cares who wins, as long as cryptocurrency kind of, that was the whole point. When they started this, when I forget who, because it's been a while since I read about it and saw it. There is a documentary on Netflix in case anybody's super curious about it. But there was a group of guys, probably from MIT, I think. I don't even remember. It always starts at MIT. And they were like, we're going to start this, and here it is. And it just snowballed and grew to where it's at. And so there's no reason to think that there's not going to continue to be that kind of growth.
Right. But my thing is, like, the more types of cryptocurrency coins there are, it's just going to become the same thing as the dollar, the euro, the pound. It's going to be the same thing. The only difference is going to be the fact that it's not run by each country's whatever.
And that's all it was set out to do. That's all it was set out to do.
But it's going to be, well, I don't accept Bitcoin. I only accept XRP, or I don't. It's going to become something like that, and it's going to be the same in a different way, but the same effect on everyone.
Well,
on the average person is going to be affected the same way.
We'll see. Well, what's interesting is that when this all started to happen, traditional banks started to create their own coins, and they started to incorporate blockchain technology, and then blockchain technology started to reach out past money, and they started using it for shipping and music even. There were all these different things that you could use that blockchain technology for. So it's interesting stuff.
But the problem is, if I have 1 million XRP coins and I go somewhere that only accepts Bitcoin, I have zero money.
Yeah, well, so you want to know what's interesting? Back in the day when I bought XRP, I couldn't buy it with American money. could not be purchased with American money. So what I had to do was I had to buy Bitcoin, and I had to use the Bitcoin to buy the XRP, which going back, thanks for saying this, so I did buy some Bitcoin. I did get in on Bitcoin when it was 17,000. So that is doing really well, but that wound up only because what I did was I bought Bitcoin and then I bought XRP. So what was left over was what didn't mathematically work out for the XRP. So whatever it was like 10 cents or whatever it was.
Right.
But that 10 cents or whatever that was left over in Bitcoin.
So let's say you raise, let's say your Bitcoin, your XRP, you put all your money into XRP, and it tanks out. You have zero, then you lose it all. It's all gone.
It's like
and
a stock or
zero
anything else.
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So instead of you having money in a bank, you have stock that could just disappear.
Yeah, but it never disappears. It's still its value. It's just like the dollar. The dollar's worth $1 because we say it is. If the money starts to crash and suddenly I can't buy milk for $2, milk costs me $20. It's the same thing. You understand? You know what I mean? It's the same thing, same value. The price of milk didn't change. The value of the dollar went down. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
What did you say again? I missed it.
I said the value of the dollar goes down. The price of milk didn't go from $2 to $20. The value of the dollar went down.
Right.
So that's why it cost me $20 now to buy the same amount of milk that it cost me $2 for, which is what a lot of people have. That's what their problem is with inflation and all that shit.
Right. But the problem with cryptocurrency is that if you have all your money in XRP and that tanks and everybody's accepting Bitcoin, not XRP, you're screwed.
Yeah, same way you would be screwed about if the dollar goes down. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but the chances of the dollar going down are less likely than XRP.
It's not what China will have you believe. By the way, my Bitcoin, that was like 50 cents or whatever it was, that was left over from my XRP purchase. It's now worth $28.
Nice.
So I wish.
That's a good chunk.
My only wish was that stupid XRP purchase had never gone through, and I would have held on to that damn Bitcoin. Anyway.
Now you're stuck with XRP.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Jay Sabs has joined the program. What up, Jay Sabs?
Jay Sabs in the house.
I was a little too close there.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's talk about the Gorilla Glue girl. This is my favorite person.
Oh, I saw this. Okay.
So the exact opposite of the nerds at MIT that started cryptocurrency. We have this beautiful young lady.
This is sad and just awful. And kind of like, come on, man. What are you doing?
She ran, I'll play the clip for everybody, but she ran out of her hairspray.
This is
right up
pure Darwinism right here.
This is right up Janine's alley, by the way. Stupid people doing really stupid stuff. Yeah.
You didn't even tell me about it, and I knew about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is beautiful. This is just, God, let's say it.
All right, so
America.
She ran out of this hairspray, and she decided to use Gorilla Glue instead. Now, she put this on TikTok, so part of me feels like this is just a bit. Like, she's just doing shtick for shtick's sake to get some attention.
For her sake, I hope so.
And it's really worked because, I mean, to the point where Gorilla Glue had to put out a statement saying, like, hey, we're sorry that you did this, but
it's glue.
Now,
what are you doing?
Her name is Tessica, by the way, like Jessica, but with a T.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mom and dad with an attitude. I mean, like, I'm going to change this all up here. No more Jessicas. Now we're going with Tessica.
See, that's a family that doesn't play by the rules.
They don't play by the rules. I like to call that a blockchain family, Frank. They're not going to go with the old conformities.
Exactly.
So Tessica is contemplating bringing litigation against Gorilla Glue because she says that on the warning label it says don't put it on your eyes or your skin. It mentions nothing about hair.
I mean, she's got a point.
No, she doesn't.
All right, let's hear from Tessica. Here's her original Here's her original video here.
Hey, y'all. For those of y'all that know me know, my hair has been like this for about a month now. It's not by choice. No, it's not by choice. When I do my hair, I like to, finish it off with a little Got to Be glue spray. Just to keep it in place. Well, I didn't have any more Got to Be glue spray, so I used this. Gorilla Glue spray. Bad idea. Yo, look.
You think?
My hair, it don't move. You hear what I'm telling you? It don't move. I've washed my hair 15 times, and it don't move. Stiff wear. Woo. My hair.
I like how she's like actually upset that her hair's not moving. She put Gorilla Glue in it, and she's like,
"Yeah, the Gorilla Glue did its job."
Yeah, she's like, guys, my hair doesn't move. Now, in another video, she came back and actually put shampoo in her hair to prove that she wasn't making this up, which I do appreciate, actually, the authenticity of this.
Ever use this?
Yeah, shampoo is not going to cut it. I think you need like turpentine to get that out.
Watch. Look, y'all, look. You wipe it off and nothing happens. Like, this is the life that I'm living at this point.
This is the life that I'm living. Like, she's looking
You did this to yourself.
Sympathy. Like, this is the kind of thing where, like, those like pranking couples where like the husband pranks the wife and the wife pranks the husband. She's acting like somebody pranked her into this, but it's legitimately herself who did it. And then here's a shot of her at the hospital. Here's a shot of her at the hospital. I did see that.
That's the one I just saw.
What do they do for that? They gotta like scrape it.
I don't know. I guess you put.
I have to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm frozen too.
Oh, go ahead, Janine.
Your face was good when it was frozen too, Frank. It was like.
Thank you.
You were momentarily gorilla glued there. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised that's still in her hair. Because when you mix water with glue, I would think that it would loosen it up a little bit.
Well, once it's dried.
Yeah, but it's still.
Like, would you weaken it?
She's been using water on it.
Yeah, but she did spray it though, so I could see it kind of.
It was a spray.
Dries.
Yeah, it was a spray.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, once that's up, that's like a helmet now. That's part of your skull.
Yeah.
Well, that's very painful.
But we've gotten to
How do you get that off?
We've gotten to a point where we are rewarding stupidity because she put a GoFundMe together and she's raised $9,000.
You know what? Good for her.
I can't imagine what the medical bill must be. So I don't know if she's getting rewarded or if people are just paying for her misery.
I mean, but I could think of there's probably 1,000 poor cancer victims on here that are trying to raise money for their medical bills. And people are like, oh, I'll give my $10 to the Gorilla Glue girl. She's got glue in her hair. I feel bad for her.
Well, kind of.
It's glue. What
do you think the medical code for that is?
I would love to know. I would love to know.
Like
code.
It's a code glue.
Code glue is good. That's pretty good, Frank.
You got a code glue down here?
I don't think. Once you see the word glue on a bottle, that should be the end of it. You should understand what's in that bottle.
Yeah, but you know what? When you were a kid, you tested it out. You put glue between your fingers.
She seems like she's not a kid.
She is an adult.
I've done this before, though, too. And you've gotten that glue, and then you're like, I can't pull it apart. And you get so scared. Yeah.
That's something you learned when you were 5 years old. Yeah.
Maybe she thought Gorilla Glue wasn't that great. So let me do a temporary fix.
Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, how bad do you need your hair to look good to go, I'll just use some Gorilla Glue. No big deal.
Hey, she never has to worry about it again. She just keep it in.
Forgive me. She's up to $11,200. And her goal was $1,500.
You know what? I'm about to donate after we get off this.
I hate you so much. I can't. I can't.
You know what
that
it
is the perfect end to this story.
It's a girl in distress. Okay,
Yeah,
you have not known the horror of not finding hairspray.
I guess I don't know the horror of not finding hairspray. I mean, I do have luscious, delicious hair. I will say that. It looks like we lost Frankie C and J Sabs again here. I do have an amazing coif that I'm quite proud of, that I do put an awful amount of gel into. But I don't know. I don't know what women go through and how desperate they get at times. But I can't imagine you being so desperate as to go ahead and put Gorilla Glue in your hair. I can't imagine getting to that point. I just can't. It just seems crazy. And I bless J Sab's heart. I know she likes to laugh and have a good time, and she teases and she goes for the joke about donating and everything, which I think is hilarious. But the fact that this person, this idiot, has raised 10 times what her original goal was is ridiculous. Is absolutely ridiculous. Do I have you guys? Hold on a second. Looks like I got you guys back.
What is ridiculous? That people donated to this?
That she's 10 times past her goal.
Good for her. You know what? There's humanity in this world. This proves it.
Yeah, but like Anthony said, that money, yeah, maybe she raises a couple $1,000 for the medical bills or whatever, fine. But $10,000, I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah,
there's cancer patients out there that need that. I mean,
this is like going 2 steps forwards.
Yeah, but
step 10 back.
I feel like we've gotten to a point now where we're so internet memeified, to call back from earlier on the show, that we love stupidity so much now that we're like, you remember that movie Idiocracy? I feel like we are just
we're there
heading towards it.
I don't remember that one.
To be honest with you, I didn't even finish watching it. I hated it. I hated it so much. But yeah, it's now a documentary.
Did you?
I couldn't stay with it, but it's like where we are in the world right now.
It's supposed to take place like 500 years from now.
Yeah.
But we are quickly getting there.
We made it there in 10. We just made it in 10. That's what's amazing about that. I want to talk about Mike Lindell and his proof video. Did you see it, Jay Sams?
I saw a little bit of it, but
all right, that's coming up. But first, let's talk about Super Bowl commercials. I have a full list of loves and hates. I'm gonna read it out.
Okay. I've got some loves.
Okay. Let's start with the hates.
Okay.
I didn't like the Intuit commercial where the guy was like driving around in like a desk.
Yeah.
And he talks about like they tax farts. They tax cow farts somewhere. That was dumb to me. That was a big miss.
Yeah.
No. Stupid.
Really,
I got
stupid.
the point. You know what? It was an effective commercial though, because I remember it and it stuck out. And it actually, while I was watching, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And it was informative.
Yeah.
So it wasn't terrible.
I also didn't like the Michelob Ultra commercial that started with Serena Williams and then just showed a bunch of other athletes. It's like this. I don't know how much commercials were, but usually
for the Spike Seltzer one.
I don't know if it was
the
for
Spike Seltzer one.
The Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, because they're making Spike Seltzers now.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, I mean, they literally, what do these go for? Like $50 million for 30 seconds? And they literally made this on, like the 13-year-old kid made this on a MacBook Pro. Like it was, it's like,
there's not much thought went into that. I don't think.
I hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does look like it's for the seltzer, J Sabs. You're right. All right, here's the ones.
I did see that one.
Here's the ones I loved. The Scott's Lawn Care with Stanley from The Office. When he yells
I missed that one.
When he yells at John Travolta, "Don't be tickety-tocking on my lawn." That's fantastic.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
I love that one. I love the Sam Adams commercial where they kind of poke fun at Budweiser and the Clydesdales Because the one guy from Boston unhooked the Clydesdales and they went crazy and trashed everything.
From Boston.
Yeah, I love that one. I like the Wayne's World one with Cardi B.
I love the Wayne's World one.
I thought that was great. No, Jason, you didn't like the Wayne's.
Just silent.
I thought that was good.
Here's the thing. I think I have to watch that one again, and you know I love Cardi B.
You do.
Do you not like Wayne's World?
No, that's the thing. I love Wayne's World.
Okay.
It just
I
missed
just
for you?
didn't like them mixing together. Maybe I have to watch it over.
Worlds are colliding, Jerry. And I think my favorite was the Fiverr commercial where they poke fun at the Four Seasons lawn care place becoming
that was fantastic.
I didn't see that one either. See, I missed a lot.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was great.
I have to go back and watch that one too.
Did you guys have any ones that I didn't mention just now on your list?
Oh, the Shaggy one.
I didn't like.
Did you love that one?
Oh, I like that one because I love him.
Shaggy
funny.
or Ashton Kutcher?
Yep.
Both of them you love?
You like both of them or Shaggy or which one?
Shaggy.
All right. Yeah, because Ashton Kutcher, I feel like they just went with the first take.
I feel like
every time he sang,
his singing was so awful.
Ugh, I couldn't take it.
Yeah,
that was rough. I love Shaggy. He's great.
What's the wife's name? I love her.
Mila Kunis.
She doesn't look so good anymore though. She was better like 10 years ago with like 20 extra pounds on her. I don't know what's going on.
She did get a little too skinny.
A little too skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. But I liked the one with Will Ferrell.
That was a good one too.
And it was progressive each time. It was a different.
Yeah.
He had he punched through the globe, and he had to keep recruiting people to go to Norway.
I love that, and I love the fact that, spoiler alert, but he didn't wind up in Norway, and neither did the other two people that he invited. They were in Finland. I love how they
Finland
and
Sweden or something.
Yeah, that was the best. That was good. Any other ones? Oh no, did I lose them again?
I love those.
Oh, we're back.
I don't know why my internet sucks, but here we go.
I know, me too.
No,
I think
it might be our little system this time around. Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I don't think it's us.
Let's talk about, because we got a lot more to go, and
we're
cutting short on time. The Bruce Springsteen commercial. I'm surprised more people aren't talking about the Bruce Springsteen Jeep commercial. Did you see this one?
Yes, I love that one. That was a good one.
I didn't see that one either.
I liked it. It was.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Not really. I'll be honest.
Frank's brother was watching Golden Girl reruns. I swear to God, he was texting pictures of Golden Girl reruns during the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
It was more entertaining.
I can't stand your brother. I mean, sure, the game sucked, but still. But the Bruce commercial was, they had this idea where supposedly the direct center of the country is in Kentucky, and at the direct center, they built this chapel. And the idea of the commercial was kind of like, and the commercial ends with this line of, now it's time to reunite, or I'm paraphrasing it, but basically it was kind of like now we can like all reunite now, because we are on common ground, and the common ground is American soil, which I thought was kind of nice. I mean, I
liked it.
I thought hardcore Trump people were gonna hate it, but I haven't seen much hate on it.
Oh, maybe.
I liked it, and it was I like the phrase that they used at the end. It was like, "We're the reunited states of America."
That was it. That
I
was
did see that one. Wait a
Yeah.
minute, I did definitely saw that one, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
It felt like a little backhanded insult to the Trump people,
Okay.
which I thought there would be a lot more backlash about.
I like the fact that it's a commercial that wants to bring everybody together. That's all it is.
Yeah, I thought that was,
just try to bash Trump.
Yeah,
there was nothing Trump bashy in it.
I will say this
jokes
though.
think?
Listening to that commercial, there is nobody on the planet Earth I would rather do a cross-country drive with than Bruce Springsteen. I just want to sit in an old car with him and listen to him talk about American life. That's it. That's all I want.
And then just play. Every now and then you turn on one of his songs and you both like just belt it out together.
Bro, I just want to fucking put on Nebraska and fucking drive to Nebraska and just look over at him and be like, tell me a story about Americana, Bruce. And just fucking listen to him. That's all I want to do in life right now.
How he doesn't narrate
There's
more
nothing
things.
I'd rather not do in life than that. What? I have to say,
Janine wants the exact opposite of that.
I respect that,
exactly.
Janine, but if you had if somebody came to you and was like, here's $1 million, you got to drive cross country, who would you put in the passenger seat? I would put
definitely Cardi B, because she'd be 100% entertaining.
No.
What about Britney?
No.
Right now. I know. I was thinking Britney too, but Cardi B.
No disrespect to Cardi B, but by the
crazy.
time we hit Pennsylvania, I'd be like, enough with the noises. I can't stand
I'd
it.
kick her right out.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gone. Foot out the door.
Normally, I find Cardi B very entertaining, but I'm talking about road trip
yeah.
scenarios here. Like the air conditioner could go out. A lot of things could go wrong, and I can't have her in there complaining, and making the noises all the time.
You're talking about being on the road with her for like 13 hours at a time, 14 hours straight.
Yes, driving through weird hick towns where there's, I need Bruce. I need Bruce.
Enough of that. An hour of that, and I've had enough.
Yeah, no good.
and
plus,
I like to make my own noises too, so maybe we would get together. Like, definitely
that'd be an interesting car ride.
Definitely.
All right,
me showing her how I could twerk.
That's a reality show waiting to happen.
We still have product testing to come.
Cardi B.
We're gonna do these chips, and we're gonna give away Frank's Sink thing. So stick around for that. Let's talk about the Mike Lindell Absolute Proof video, because I got a little annoyed at people. Listen, you could criticize this show. That's all well and good. But we put out our episode before he put out his video. And I was reading comments on Sunday and people were like, haven't you seen this video yet? And it was like, no, the podcast we did was prior to the release of the video. So we haven't seen it. So people were like pounding us oh, you haven't seen this yet? It's Absolute Proof. And it's like, no, just look at the timestamp of when the video came out and when the podcast was released. It was before Mike Lindell did his thing on his website and OAN. So Frank chose not to watch it, true to his liberal ideals, which is
no.
Definitely.
It's like an hour and a half, and I just haven't watched it yet.
I only watched a little bit. I couldn't watch too much because of these demons running around. But
what'd you think, J Sabs?
You're referring to your children.
I think he's entertaining. I'm sorry, I do.
Okay, that's an interesting choice of words.
I do have to say, I want to watch the rest of it.
Yeah,
I really do.
Okay.
So I will.
So Anthony, you watched the whole thing?
I watched the entire thing because
Okay.
people go, do your research.
Yeah.
I watched all hour and 40 minutes of this friggin' thing. So your old pal Ant did his research. And you can't stuff my thoughts into one single soundbite. So if you really want to know, stick with me through this entire thing, and you'll get my full-on opinion on where I'm coming from, because it's just not clear-cut black and white, I feel. Now, I want to start with this. He bought time on OAN. This is the super ultra right-wing conservative. This is the... Very quickly, we had the Fox News where people were like, damn, that's conservative. And then Newsmax came over and people were like, holy crap, they out-conservatived Fox News. And then OAN showed up on the scene and it was like, this is so far to the conservative, like they even went even farther than everybody else. And as far as voter fraud goes, OAN basically was the most on the side of voter fraud, while still fully admitting that there was no real mass voter fraud. Like, they reported on it a bunch.
He's going to get eaten up right now.
Hey,
Who's getting eaten up?
Stick with me, people. If you leave now, you're not getting the full thing. So you can write your comment that I'm stupid now, or you can stick with me and really get the full.
I'm going to write that comment. There's nothing to do with this Lindell thing. I'm just going to write that comment.
You're just going to write it? Let me start here, and the Trump people are not going to like where this starts, but they ran a disclaimer for this program because he not only put it on his website, but he bought time on OAN, and he bought a couple of different blocks so that he can air it. So OAN, because they don't want to be sued, actually pulled out some standards and ran a disclaimer prior to the show. And the disclaimer is interesting as all hell. The disclaimer, by the way, is 90 seconds on its own. All right. So that just goes to show you they had a lot to say before they let this program
cover your ass
on their own. Exactly. Cover your ass, Frank, is not even like the half of it. So let me play a smidge of what this sounded like. Okay.
Michael James Lindell has purchased the airtime for the broadcast of this program on One America News Network. Mr. Lindell is the sole author.
By the way, I don't know where they got this voiceover guy from, but I know a lot of voiceover guys, and I wouldn't have gone with the guy that talks like this. You know, like
what are you talking about?
If I want to tell you what time the movie starts, I'm picking this guy. But outside of that, this is not the guy that I would be going with. I digress.
I'm picturing one of his pillows talking.
And is solely and exclusively responsible for its content. The topic of this broadcast is the 2020 election. OAN has undertaken its own reporting on this topic. This program is not the product of OAN's reporting. The views, opinions, and claims expressed in this program by Mr. Lindell and other guests, presenters, producers, or advertisers are theirs and theirs alone, and are not adopted or endorsed by OAN or its owners. In particular, OAN does not adopt or endorse any statements or opinions in this program regarding the following entities or people: U.S. Dominion, Inc., and any related entities, Smartmatic USA Corp., Brian Kemp, Brad Raffensperger, or Gabriel Sterling. Further, the statements and claims expressed in this program are presented at this time as opinions only and are not intended to be taken or interpreted by the viewer as established facts. The results in the 2020 presidential election remain disputed and questioned by millions of Americans who are entitled to hear from all sides in order to help determine what may have happened.
Wow.
So that's how it starts.
I never heard a disclaimer disassociate itself so far from what was going on. I mean, they could have stopped in the middle of that and been fine. But then they kept saying, let's just be clear here.
That would be like
you nothing to do with this.
That'd be like you giving Trump a compliment.
What would be like that?
They stopped.
Disclaimer.
They stopped just shy
not
of
associated with him.
They stopped just shy of going, no, seriously, we have nothing to do with this shit. Like that was the line that they stopped just shy of. And
the following is not fact but opinion. Is one of the lines they said.
And again, Frank has been in the business. I've been in the business. Like usually that's like, oh, the following opinions are blah, 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 blah. It's like 20 seconds, not even. That was a minute and a half. So that'll give you some kind of clue to the people who are most on the side of there was fraud in this election. They've even distanced themselves from what this guy had to say. So
nobody wants to be sued.
There's
That's the problem.
So that's what the people...
They specifically named all those people that are suing people.
Exactly. So what the people who are going to believe Mike Lindell are going to say is, well, they just didn't want to get sued, but it had to get put out there. So let me say this. I watched the entire thing. Do I think that Mike Lindell... Stay with me to the end now, people. Do I think this guy proved that the election was stolen? No, I do not. Do I think that this crazy pillow selling son of a bitch did bring up a couple of good points? I got to tell you, I think he did. I think there was a few things that he brought up that no sane person, I feel, I'm sorry if I'm going to insult some people here, can look at this and go, oh, it's right here. It's clear as day that the election was stolen. But at the same time, some of the things he brings up, you kind of look at it and you go, well, I hope that's not really happening, because if that's the case, then I feel like we should look into this, the way we do things,
like what?
A little bit more. Okay. He had, forgive me if it was a congressperson, if it was somebody running for Congress or Senate, I want to say it was a local congressional seat in Massachusetts. He had this guy on who worked at Google. He was in on Gmail, developing Gmail and all this stuff early on. And I'm paraphrasing, so if I'm a little off, just leave me the hell alone, okay? But the guy is super duper smart. And he put this campaign together, okay? And he went out and put all these lawn signs out and did all these things. He did all this work, and his opponent did nothing. Everybody in his camp is telling him he's going to win. It's not even close. And if he wasn't going to win, there was something clearly wrong. He obviously didn't win. So he started looking into how they tabulate the votes. And what this guy came up with is that they didn't necessarily count every single vote, but that they would count a sample size of votes and replicate that over the course of time as they continued to count more votes. And the machine would then check its algorithm to confirm the estimates that it was making was accurate. Now, if that is true, that's not how this should be done. If we're saying
Where
that's
did they
how
come up with that, though?
He's got all his little statements and things like that. Now, you might be like, this guy's batshit crazy, but out of all the crazy guests that he had on, he said, and if he's right, he's right. If he's wrong and crazy, then he's wrong and crazy. But he said that his case is still open and ongoing in the state of Massachusetts because the judge couldn't throw it out based on the facts that he presented. So that case is ongoing.
Ooh.
So when I heard that, I was like, okay, that's interesting. The judge didn't throw it out. If that is particularly the case, then I think that should be looked into, because most people think that when they fill out their little paper and they slide it in that machine, the machine takes a picture and counts their vote. I think everybody's okay with that. I don't think people are okay with they count 100 of them and then the next 1,000 they just,
No, that's not the way.
That's not the way
that should go. No,
that's the way.
That's what happened. That's
that's the way polling can go. It's okay to do polling that way, but it's not okay to actually count votes that way. And the guy presented.
How did they come to that conclusion?
What do you mean?
What?
How did they come to the conclusion that that's what was going on with the ballots?
Okay, great question. Because they're supposed to, they take pictures of the ballots, and they're supposed to hold on to the pictures. Those pictures are supposed to get logged, and they're supposed to hold on to them in case they ever have to go back and count them. The fact that, for whatever reason, this time around in this race, by the way, this had nothing to do with the November presidential election. This was done in September. So this was prior to the general election. Because this was a special election in Massachusetts. They're supposed to hold on to the ballots. They got rid of them. They destroyed them. And they kept them from 2018 and they kept them from 2016. And this guy's case is, well, why wasn't 2020 kept if you kept all the other ones?
Okay.
And so the judge, they're going to go to trial for it because
that's suspicious that the ballots were thrown out,
right,
or destroyed or whatever.
So
the fact that it's Massachusetts leads me to believe the Democrat's going to win anyway. I don't care how much campaigning the Republican does. You're in Massachusetts.
There could be some of that.
Most likely going to lose.
There could be some of that, but
like New York.
The fact that they destroyed the ballots, the photos, why?
That's suspicious.
Like that's the kind of thing.
How it works.
That's the kind of thing that I look at and I go, that is something that should go to court because that should be decided. Now,
that's suspicious.
That's not the presidential election. That's
not the presidential election. That was just
so
something.
I don't know how ballots work with side elections that are, is that the rule with?
Well, and what's crazy about this is all these machines are different. All these different companies, they all do their own things, their own particular way. Now, so that was one thing. The other thing that I found particularly interesting is every guest on there. Now, this could be debunked. By the way, I watched the thing and then I researched whether it's true or not. Okay. And what I'm telling you is all to the best of my ability. And I don't think everybody had a chance to really sit down and watch this crazy asshole for an hour and a half and go out and find the answers just yet, because it's Monday and this was Friday. Okay. So the other thing that I found interesting is I was under the impression, and I think most Americans were, that these voting machines were not connected to the internet. Oh. That is not true. And he actually did. This crazy pillow selling son of a bitch produced a video of the Dominion people. Okay, now this is the video that I saw. So if this was incorrect or doctored or whatever, forgive me, Dominions. Don't sue me. Last name not Giuliani, by the way. Where the guys they were talking about selling the Dominion machine. This was salespeople that are going out to try and sell the Dominion software and the machines to people. And they were asked if they were supported by 5G or Verizon. Like, does this work on Verizon as well as it works on AT&T and all this stuff? And they were like, absolutely, you can use it anywhere. And they specifically cited the fact that, like, Puerto Rico has 3 different providers and one doesn't sync up with the other one on this little island. And they made sure that the software was compatible with all 3. Like, they were like bragging about it. And they produced this manual as well several times in the doc that supposedly, this could be found out to be untrue, that the manual describes and shows how the voting machines should be connected to the internet.
Okay.
So that to me is a
You're
little...
saying that the fact that they are connected to the internet is proof that...
No, it's just suspicious because, like they said, people can hack in there correctly.
That's it. Because we were all under the assumption that you can't connect these machines to the internet. Right. How are you going to hack into them? Well, then if we go and find out that you can connect these machines to the internet, that changes my perception on the machines a little bit.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay.
I don't know about any of that. I know there's going to be people in the comments like, and I don't know because this is the first I'm hearing about it. So
exactly.
I haven't had time to research anything about it.
That's kind of my point. So the people that are like, here's the proof right here, Ant. He made a video. Go fuck you. I don't give a like, so what? He rented out a studio and put some TVs behind him. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I can make a video too.
But for the people,
if what he's saying is bullshit, it's bullshit. If what he's saying is fact, it's fact.
But if the people that go, this guy's a crazy pillow guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about, I put you in the same category, because if you can connect these machines to the internet, I feel like that needs to be investigated a bit more, because again, I was down with voting machines because I was under the assumption that there wasn't. This is why, by the way, Okay, before you read that, this is why, by the way, we have paper ballots. This is why we still vote in school gymnasiums, because there's no centralized system that any one person can get in and create mass voter fraud. Now, Frank, did you find something to the contrary?
I did. Like within a 2-second internet search.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I went to the Dominion website, their voting systems.
Yeah.
DominionVoting.com.
Yes, go ahead.
And election, I don't know if this could be visible here.
Wait, is it a picture of Joe Pesci that says backwards. Everything that guy just said is bullshit?
Yes, pretty much. So it's probably backwards on your screen.
Yeah.
I apologize for that. But it says, I'll read it to you. It says Elections 101 about Dominion voting systems. You scroll down the very first bullet point. I don't know if you could.
Go ahead, just read it.
Bullet point right here.
Just read it.
Voting systems are designed and certified by the U.S. government to be closed systems that do not rely on internet connectivity for use.
Okay, now, I'm glad you brought this up. So what some of the people on the dock were saying is that there are firewalls, or what they call gap computers, where it's not directly connected to the internet or whatever it is. And I'm not saying Dominion's lying, and I'm not saying Lindell's making it up. What I'm saying is this should be looked into to make 100% sure that this is as pure of a system as possible. That's what I'm saying.
Agreed. Yeah, sure. Look into.
Because if
Look
Dominion
into-
comes down and
Fine.
goes, no, trust us, it's all legit. Okay, that's nice and everything, but I would love it if the government could go in there and be like, hey, this is all good. Another thing that they said was, and again, I don't know if this is true. This could be disproved. Okay. But they said that they store the results on servers that are overseas.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Now, and that when those results get stored, the reporting that gets sent to all the TV networks comes from this one company that is from Spain. Again,
So
is
you're
this
just saying
true? I'm not buying it just because the pillow guy bought a TV and a lapel mic and started talking crazy. But if we can investigate it and find out if it's true or not, I think that would probably be a nice move.
Well, I don't know about where their storage, whatever is, but the company info, they have 2 locations, it looks like. Denver, Colorado, and Toronto. Those are their the contact info at the bottom of their page.
Yeah.
That's where it says to contact them.
So again,
I haven't looked further.
I'm not going to buy into this and be like, Lindell is right. There's Trump won. There's the proof.
Yeah, I take whatever the pillow guy says with a huge grain of salt.
But like, I think exactly. But I think
a salt cube.
But I think checking these companies is not
check them out.
They should be checked. Now, maybe they are already checked, and that's why judges were throwing stuff out like crazy. Maybe this has already been done, and it's all well and good. But
maybe
I feel like that information should be easily accessible to all of us from these third parties that are not these actual companies. Is that a crazy thing to say?
Sure.
I don't think it is.
Why not? Check them all out. Certify them.
Yeah.
Totally. Why not?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm for it. Go
now,
for it.
at the end of the doc, not to spoil it for anybody, but he literally has this woman on, and she puts this sheet of paper on the screen, and he says, this is Mike Lindell's assessment, that you could literally see when people broke into the system and changed and swapped out votes, and that it directly came from China, and that China is solely responsible for stealing the election.
Okay.
China.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and
what is he seeing though? What is he looking into? He doesn't have access to the inner workings of these ballots or these. He's not. He's the My Pillow guy.
He got the
evidence.
He
doesn't have any access to this stuff.
He got the evidence.
Oh, he's got the evidence. Okay.
He put. I don't know if I.
So
I don't know if you heard me say.
Guy,
wait, I don't know if you heard me say, but
he
he put it on the screen, the big screen that was behind him in the TV studio.
Oh well, if it's on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know it was on the screen.
So again,
look what I made.
Yeah, that was, and then they had this like animated lines coming like on this world map of like where the attacks were coming from. And I will tell you,
lines.
I will tell you the sheer sign that this was all complete and total bullshit. Same thing with the Plandemic. Remember that Plandemic video? I'm watching this thing, and they're talking, and they're like the guy's mounting his case. And all of a sudden, this serious, like eerie music starts creeping in. That if you want to know a sure sign that something is bullshit, they're trying to manipulate your feelings with music into feeling like, oh, like this is the same shit that reality shows do. I mean, it is. It's true. I'm in content creation. I know how this all works. There's reasons
That's
why.
The way it is. They want you to feel a certain way. So they'll put it in black and white, and they'll go, look at these people, how evil they are.
Yeah, this is like when you
and
watch.
Then look at us, we're so happy and cheerful.
This is like when you watch something on A&E about the mafia, and they put it in that security camera footage thing. It's like
something shady's going on. Watch out.
Yeah. So I'm not really buying any of that. But
forgive me, I haven't seen the hour and 40-minute My Pillow guy presentation, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say I probably, without seeing it, say it's bullshit.
You're going to get murdered
again, I haven't seen
for that.
No.
He is going. Frank, just open up your butthole right now. That's it.
That's just from what you told me and what I was able to find with a 2-second Google search.
Yeah, but that was from Dominion's website. I mean, again, I would like some sort of.
They say it. That's an easily checked thing, though. Not by me, but if like the government wants to say these are not hooked up to the internet, and they're clearly on the first page of their website saying these are not hooked up to the internet, that's a win, right? That's it. Your whole case is.
But they can say anything that they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They could say whatever they want, but if they say that and the government says, no, you're lying, then that shatters the credibility of Dominion.
Unless they're working together. Then that's it.
What?
Well, I mean, the government's the one that awards the contract to them. They certainly don't want them to be a failure. That's not a good look for the government.
It's not a failure, but I'm saying if they're like working together.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
because that's what. Well, let me interrupt you there. That's what the conspiracy theorists are going to say. They're going to say that if this happened, the government would have covered it up as to not look stupid.
Well, why would Dominion put that on their first page of their website if they don't have to?
Because
I think that's their main thing. That's the main thing, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like,
well, that's easily fact checkable. That's like them saying all our machines are green when we could all see that they're blue. It's like everybody can check these machines. Anybody who's worked with them, the poll watchers, and anybody can say, no, they're hooked into the internet. What are you talking about? This isn't something that's like an inner working thing that nobody has a clue. This is like an easily fact checkable thing.
I just think
no.
And again, now I'm sorry, Janine, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just think that, and not to bend at the whim of a crazy person, some of these things, I would love it if there was some reassurance that could be spread among. I think it's in the best interest of the country for
I would love it.
Some sort of independent third party verification to come out with a real
who is that?
Audit. I don't know.
It can't be the government. It can't be anybody from the government, and anybody outside of the government.
I know, but we have these things. But and you know what too, and to my point, here's the other thing with this. It's not just one. It's not just Dominion. There's like 10 of these companies, 20 of these companies. They're all fighting.
Dominion's the biggest one.
Yeah. So I mean, it would behoove one of the smaller guys to be like, hey, what they're doing is wrong. I mean, they might take themselves down a little bit, but if they want to cripple the big, like, any company wants to cripple, like Wendy's would love to cripple McDonald's. Like, there's no thing that Wendy's is going to protect McDonald's, to get a bigger market. They would
that's true.
Sell them out in a second to get a bigger market.
I see what you're saying there. Yeah.
So you kind of,
none of them have done that.
And none of them have done that. Now the conspiracy theorists will say they're all banding together.
They're all working together.
The conspiracy theorists are always right, so there's no arguing with them.
All right.
The Earth is flat. You can't convince them otherwise. You could show them a picture of the round Earth taken from space, and they'll go, well, who gave you that picture? You got it from NASA, which is government run. And blah. It's like, all right, well, there's no pleasing you.
By the way,
so that's it.
The flat Earth guy will not leave me alone. He is dying to come on this show. And I have less and less interest every single time.
Let him. You know what? Let him in, because I truly don't believe that the world is round.
No, that's how we start. That's how all this shit started. By the way,
stop it.
We started playing around with the flat Earth people, and then next thing we know, nothing is real anymore. So I'm not.
Please tell me you're kidding.
She's kidding.
Please.
Obviously, she's kidding.
Thank you. Okay, no, because I don't know sometimes.
He'll be like, now I really think you're dumb. First, I thought you were
I don't think
dumb.
you're dumb. I don't
now
think
I think you're really dumb.
If you thought the Earth was flat, then I would think you're dumb.
By the way, I know what President Donald Trump is going to do next, and I will reveal that on the next episode of the podcast. So make sure you're subscribed.
Yeah, because it's getting kind of late.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
People. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Apple, Google, Stitcher. We're on all the podcast networks if you want to listen. We're on Facebook and YouTube if you'd like to watch. Subscribe. Let all the friends know. Guess what? Your old pal Lance breaking the story on what the president's going to do next.
Oh,
I got the story. You're going to love it. I know what he's going to do.
Is that a conspiracy theory?
Nope. This is 100% legit, genuine.
I know what he's going to do.
I'm going to share. Don't say anything. Don't guess.
Never.
I'm going to tell you.
I think I know what it is.
I'm going to tell you what it is on the next episode, and we're going to explore. By the way, I'm not only going to tell you what it is. I'm going to show you the first 10 to 20 steps on how it's going to go down. So, very exciting.
I can't wait.
Yes. Let the kids.
See, that sounds interesting.
Wake up the kids, because we're blowing the roof off this story.
This is a person who has never met President Trump, nor has any connection to him.
Easy.
He's going to tell you.
We're both from Queens. I've already debunked your conspiracy theory. We're both from Queens. So there you go.
Frank, one thing though. One thing. Do you remember, because he just said it. Remember in his debate when he's like, no, I'm from Queens. Didn't you feel like some kind of special then?
No, I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, no, you're not. You're from Queens.
This guy lived in Brooklyn for 4.5 minutes of his life. He's lived in.
I know.
No, until I was 12 years old.
You've literally lived in Long Island longer than you lived in Brooklyn at this point.
Frank, just because
12 years of my life.
Dad busted in your mom in Brooklyn because they went there for a movie night, that doesn't make you Brooklyn.
You're RC Theater, baby.
Frank is more of a Flid than a Brooklynite. And if you don't know what Flid is, you could look that up right now. Thank me later.
Look that up on Urban Dictionary.
There you go.
Born and raised in Brooklyn, then Queens, now Long Island.
Yeah. So listen, let me wrap up this Lindell thing. For the people that are like, are you an idiot? The evidence is right here. No, you're the idiot. But for the people that are discounting him right away for being this crazy son of a bitch, I think he's crazy. I don't think he proved that there was election fraud, mass election fraud, but I thought he brought up a couple of good points that maybe should be looked into further.
Right. I want to watch the rest of this. So please don't affiliate me with them.
I'm not going to lie to you, Janine. You don't have to waste your time. It was
I do want to see it though.
It was awfully produced. He's sweating the whole time. He thinks he's breaking this. I've hosted things. I've been in productions. I know. He literally in his head is thinking people are going to they're going to carry me off this network field like Rudy at the end of that movie, and it is just not what happened whatsoever.
Well, we'll see.
I think that there are enough people in the country who are questioning things that, let's have some people look into the process.
there was no proof, because you hang a sheet on a wall and you have somebody call in and go, here's when they stole the election. That's not proof.
No, that's not proof.
That's
theory. Just as accurate as drawing with a Sharpie the path of a hurricane hitting a state that you didn't have on the map before. That's how accurate that is.
You've done that.
I love when people shit on Frank and they go, the guy in the middle sucks. I like when they call him the guy in the middle. That really makes me happy. I don't know why that makes me so happy, but I just like that a lot.
Learn the name.
And I do have to say one thing.
Yeah.
Somebody called him fat. What? He is not fat.
He is not fat, folks.
That was my burner account. Sorry. I just thought.
I thought that was someone in my family.
I'm like, the fat guy in the middle sucks.
In the middle?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You're such an ass.
Not fat. I'm close to the camera, maybe.
Yeah, no.
All right, product testing.
And thank you, Janine. Thank you.
I forgot who it was. Maggie.
See, I stuck up for you.
That's nice. You see, you guys are having a moment right there.
Wait, did I actually write I think I wrote back to that person, right?
You said I agree. You said pin this no, you tagged me and said, Aunt, can you pin this comment to the top? Is what you said.
Pin to top, please.
Yeah.
Disagree with me all you want, but when you bring facts, then I'll talk to you.
Call me stupid, but don't call me fat.
Again, please direct all your comments to the fat idiot in the middle. That would be. I pointed the wrong way to the fat idiot in the middle.
Right here. This
Who's
fat
idiot now?
Right here. Bring it.
What about the fat idiot that can't point the right way? What'd you say, Janine?
I said this guy.
I think it was Maggie. Now I don't know. See, I can't keep track of anything. Too many.
Who's Maggie?
Too many messages. But we talked about my obsession for Lime, Team Lime. I feel like I'm going to unite the country more than Bruce Springsteen and Jeep with Lime. I feel like Lime's going to be the thing that gets us all there.
Oh, I had some good lime chips yesterday.
Did you?
It could be the United States of Lime America.
There you go. Were they these or were they the Lime Tostitos?
No, they were lime. No, they weren't Tostitos. They were another brand.
Okay.
What was the brand?
I
You know,
forget.
Say it.
It's upstairs.
Anyway,
It was very good though. No, it's not.
Okay.
it was on my Instagram stories. I don't know. It's gone now, but we're at Anthony's Faves on Instagram. Somebody tagged me and was like, dude, you gotta try make this a product, future product testing. When she tagged me, I was literally in the parking lot at ShopRite about to go get a bunch of snacks for Super Bowl. So I was like, done, no problem. I found them. I was like, we'll do this. I don't know why, and she didn't know either. Why do they call it limon? Is that what is that?
It's limon.
Limon. I think that's Spanish.
It is Spanish.
Is it Spanish for lime? What does it mean?
Yes, it is.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
That means
It
lime.
means lime.
They don't explain it on the package. So
Is there anything else in Spanish on the package at all?
no, not anything. Not a oh no, there is. Yeah, the nutrition information is also información nutrimental. So the nutrition information
why.
is in Spanish as well, which is
Do they
that's
have
good.
the ingredients also in
Yeah. Oh, in Spanish? Yep. Yeah.
Because you could see limon is probably in there.
Oh, do you know what the Spanish word is for potatoes? Papas, according to this. I don't know.
Oh,
It is.
papas.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Anyway, by the way,
So
I
let's
usually
test them out here.
like to open these up live on the show, but my producer who handed them to me took her own little tax out.
Oh, now she's your producer. When she does something wrong, she's your producer. When she does something right, she cuddles your wife.
Yeah. Okay. Can I just say, am I the only one that if we're going with a flaky potato chip, which Lay's is, hashtag I love Cape Cod more than these. I like a good crunchy chip. Do you go with the folded ones? I like a folded chip the most. You know, the ones that are folded in half?
No, I don't like. I like it open.
I go
Really?
with whatever chip is in my
do.
fingers at the moment.
No, I have to pick out the perfect chip. It gets my husband very annoyed.
I
I'm
like
like,
size.
oh, I don't want this one.
I don't like when the chip is like this big, and you got to eat it in sections.
Yeah.
That's annoying. And you
I
get
like when
crumbs
they're
all over
folded
you.
in half. All right, here we go.
Wait. Request. Try not to chew into the microphone.
Oh my God!
You guys
Frank,
doing
it's
the
a
mic.
chip.
People got to hear it. I'll
Hey,
try, Frank, I'll try and keep the lip smacking to a minimum, but you got to hear the crunch. That's important.
Can I just tell you a story about that?
Go ahead.
Years ago, me and my brother, his wife, and my husband were on a plane, and we were eating Pringles, trying to perfect the perfect chip crunch sound. Yes, that's very good. I'm sure people
There we
wanted
go.
to kill us on that flight.
Yeah, you sounded annoying. I feel like you guys wouldn't be good on any flight, though.
No,
I'd be good on a flight. What do you mean?
it was like I did a chip sound, and then my husband did one, and then my brother, and then his wife.
I understand the very first crunch. I get it.
No, we
But
would
once
kept
it's in
trying
your
to do.
mouth, close your lips.
You could still
And
hear it though.
That I hate because that was intentionally obnoxious. That's
Oh
my
God, I
problem.
want to go
My
upstairs
problem
and eat
is
chips in your ear right
obnoxiousness.
now.
My
I'm
problem
just-
is obnoxiousness.
I'm trying to paint a picture for the listeners. I'm not lip smacking, am I? I'm not lip smacking.
No, that's fine. But you don't have to. All right, that's it. Then I'm out. I'll see you guys.
Oh, good. Now we could talk about what a bitch he is.
Is that a shamrock behind you? Is that a shamrock on your door? What the hell?
Yeah, that shamrock has been there since episode 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never noticed it. I got to be honest with you.
Huge heavies in the way.
There's a lot of lime flavor in this. Actually, it's kind of interesting.
Gee.
I wonder how it tastes on a chip like that rather than a tortilla chip, if that makes sense.
I think it would be better on a tortilla chip, to be honest with you.
Now,
Yeah,
is
the one
that
I
a
had yesterday was
dippable
good.
chip?
Nah, I don't think so.
You can't dip this on anything.
Nothing? Not like salsa, anything?
No. The only
I feel
the
like
only
lime and salsa would go together.
yeah, but that kind of chip. No, you need. I'm sorry, but you need Wise. Those are Lay's, right?
These are Lay's. Yeah, these are
Yeah,
Lay's.
you need Wise chips because they're a little bit meatier.
Yeah, but Lay's makes its own line of dip.
Yeah, you could use those. You could use those chips.
I get what Frank is saying, because I'll do a fresh little lime squeeze on some salsa, on some pico if I can, but I don't know.
You know, you throw a little lime on like a taco with the all that stuff. I mean, I feel like that would work. Lime on that.
I don't know. It's pretty good. I don't hate it, but I don't know if I could eat a whole bag of it as I eat the whole bag.
All right, so 1 to 10.
Okay, 1 to 10.
10 being your favorite chip in the world. 1 being the styrofoam packing peanuts.
See, but here's the thing, though. I don't love these type of chips. Again, I like a hard, crunchy. What do they call that? A kettle chip? I like a kettle chip.
Oh, you like them baked?
I like my mouth bleeding at the end of a chip session. Not these flaky.
Then you like Cape Cod chips.
Yes, I love Cape Cod. Didn't I say that at the beginning?
Yes.
I thought I said Cape Cod.
Me too.
You like the kind of chip that a shard will break off and stab you in the gum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Cape Cod, shout out Deep River. And you guys want to sponsor the podcast, let me know.
That would be good. My 2 favorite chips in the world. Hers, they do a salt and pepper chip.
Ooh.
It's literally, I never really see pepper on a chip, and this is sprinkled salt and pepper. It's very good. And the other one, I forget the brand name, but it's crab chips. They sell them a lot, like Maryland and the Carolinas. It's got that Old Bay seasoning on it.
Yeah, Old Bay is good. That's good. I'm going to give this...
Those 2.
I'm going to give this a 6 1/4. I'm going to give it a 6 1/4.
Okay.
That's 62%. That's a fail.
It's good. I love the lime flavor, but I'm not losing more. It's got great lime flavor, but it also feels on the smidge. Like, if I really like this, I would probably just buy a bag of chips and just squeeze some lime over it. Like, that's what I would do.
Okay.
That's the exact same thing you're getting.
Yeah.
The chips at Chipotle are the tortilla ones with lime on them.
Is there lime on Chipotle chips? Is that right?
You like those?
Say that again, Janine, because I lost you there.
There is.
Is there lime?
I know. I'm done.
I didn't know there was.
Yeah, there is.
All right.
So you're backing lime everything. Now, do you think there should be, I mean, I guess there is. I was going to say, do you think there should be lime drinks that you would get at like...
That I would get where?
Like at fast food places, you know, you get like orangeade or orange soda. You think there should be lime? I mean, I guess Sprite would be the only...
But they give lemon first billing. I think it should be lime. I would think that limeade I had was phenomenal. Phenomenal. By the way, my wife mixed it with vodka, and I got lucky that night, and it was better than usual. So, I'm just saying.
Nice.
You got lucky. She definitely did not get lucky.
What's that?
I said you got lucky. She definitely did not get lucky.
I don't know. She was smiling. I mean, she's not smiling right now, but she was smiling at the time.
Well,
that's good.
Part of that's the limeade and the vodka.
She was smiling for that whole 28 seconds. You go.
And finally, we have one of the original product testing segments that took off is Frank's stupid sync thingy that we have here. That's in Chinese writing that we couldn't figure out what the name is.
Nobody has come forward to tell us what that means.
No.
Nobody.
No, and it says easy to remove and wash, but it actually says east to remove and wash. Frank wasn't lying about any of that stuff. It legitimately says that. It's very tiny writing, but you can see it right there. East to remove.
It says it in Chinese and in English underneath.
Yeah, and it also says stainless steel, I think it says, and it's just plastic.
It does.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not stainless steel.
Yeah. Bearing capacity, 1 twist extension. It doesn't twist at all. It's just, they got none of this right. They have none of this right.
What's your running time on this?
On this episode?
Yeah.
We're an hour and 40 in. We are way too long on this episode. But I hope people enjoy it.
We had a lot of topics on the side there.
There was a lot. You had to put I want to win the sink thingy in the comments, and we randomly picked a winner, and that is Melissa Crowder. Melissa Crowder, you won the sink thingy. Congratulations.
Step on down.
She was chosen at random.
Yeah.
Way to go.
We're going to reach out to Melissa, and we'll figure out how to get that over to her.
Congratulations.
Thank you all who watched and who entered for the contest. Any final thoughts, you two?
I'm sure we'll be doing more giveaways in the future. We have to.
Yeah. Should we give away the rest of this? I'll duct tape this up and send this out if anybody wants the chip bag.
Oh, what a wonderful gift that is. Half-eaten bag of lime chips.
Oh my God.
Any final thoughts, Frankie C?
Final thoughts, I think just everybody still continue to be safe out there. Wear your masks. And what? Oh, Janine rolls her eyes. What?
I can't wait to read the comments.
No, I didn't roll my eyes. I shot myself in the mouth. Thank you.
Why?
I can't wait to read the comments when they're like, I hate the fat liberal guy's last thoughts. It stunk.
Oh, yeah. Don't wear your masks and cough on each other. That's a better.
Yeah, right? Lick some doorknobs.
J Sabs, final thoughts? Please don't use this as a PSA to push your agenda.
All right. Join me next week on my own
funny.
show. Frankie C on the air.
I do have a final thought.
Go ahead.
Today, I do not like limes because I had a very, very tiny but deep cut on my finger, and I had a lime touch it.
Yeah. That'll wake you up.
That's
And
kind of your
boy,
own
did it
fault.
hurt.
I don't
Did
think
it
the
hurt.
line reached out its hand and touched you.
Well,
probably had
I
something
had
to do
no
with
idea
that.
I had the cut. I had no idea.
Well, why are you making margaritas on a Monday so hard? That's what I want to know.
It was just a Corona. That's it. It wasn't a margarita. Oof, I didn't go that hard. But yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I had to put a Band-Aid on it so the lime wouldn't touch it again.
Well, that's called life. That's what you got to do.
That's it.
That was
You'll
great.
put a Band-Aid on your cut, but you won't put a mask on your... See, no, I don't understand.
Right.
My final thoughts is I will never go to either of you two ever again for a final thought.
Yeah,
Thank
why
you.
do you do that? You put so much pressure on us to give you a final
There is
thought.
pressure.
We got to
I
come
had a
up with
good
something
one.
off the top of our
I
head.
had a good one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it there.
No.
I appreciate you all for
Frozen.
watching and or listening. AnthonyOnAir.com has all our information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Clips channel only on YouTube. I want to thank all of the Facebook people. Our Facebook numbers are going through the roof recently.
Yes.
Thank you for that. And we're seeing a lot of subscribers, as always, on YouTube. And
I just want to point out real quick
yes, go ahead.
that throughout this episode, Janine has gradually been sinking.
I
don't know how, but she was at the bottom of the screen there for the end of this thing. There you go. She was just a talking head for a while.
A couple more inches and you'll look like my mother on every FaceTime call I ever have with her. All I see is forehead.
And I could do a really dirty joke, but I'm not going to.
That'll be the first time you don't.
Well, I was going to say a couple inches lower than that, and then you would look like Frank's mother on every time I go and pick her up.
Exactly. Huh?
Have a great one. We will catch you guys on the